And this is a deck tech for Legacy Goblins. This is version 2. From the first deck tech I did for this playlist. The main board hasn't changed. It's identical. The thing we've been tinkering with is a sideboard. We're pretty set on the main board. It has all the answers we want to it, and it's been really aggressive and well playable. So for the sideboard, a few changes happened. Dropped some cards, added some new cards, changed some quantities. So we're still sticking with one Chalice of the Void for the reasons listed earlier, which was it's really good on 0 against things like Dredge and Storm, and 1 against things like Reanimator or Delver. 1 stops a lot, doesn't really hinder us that much. 1 Pithing Needle for answers so many different things, be it Lily on the Veil, or Jace, or Mother of Runes, or Deathrite Shaman outside of the mana ability. It's not bad. 1 Thorn of Amethyst to help protect against like Burn and Storm, and it's okay against some other stuff, but this is the only card that I'm not completely set on, but it gives us more outs. So we're debating on this. A Warping Wheel out of the sideboard as well. This comes in against a variety of decks, be it things that play Deathrite Shaman, Death and Taxes for Mother of Runes, or Stoneforge Mystic. Lets us counter some sorcery spells, lets us put in an instant speed guy into the battlefield to either chump block or make an extra mana for the next turn, or get rid of bridges and dredge at instant speed. It's pretty solid. Went down to 1 Blood Moon over 2. This might go back up to 2. It's very powerful. But it seems like there's a lot of decks that can play around it now. Like even Shardless is actually playing basics. There's 1 Thalia in the sideboard now. I went down from 2 down to 1. She's expensive, and the converted mana cost wise, she requires white. She's really powerful. And if you hit her, you're doing well. She's a slowing tactic, which is fantastic, but I think we needed some other answers as well. Went to 3 Fairy Macaques and 0 Surgical Extraction, so we actually dropped a Graveyard Hate card. The Fairy Macabre for turn 0 interactions, uncounterable, is really powerful, especially because Black-Red Reanimator's on the rise. Dredge, you can pick off specific cards with it, which is really good. Graveyard Shenanigans are kind of hit or miss, but I mean, mostly Reanimator is what this is for. Even bring it in against Storm if you have some less than valuable cards, just because of the fact you can take things out of the graveyard to stop Cabal Ritual from being cast with Threshold, because the Threshold checks upon resolution. So in response, you can use the Fairy Macabre, take away their 7 cards, and then they only get 3 mana off it, and you really screw them over. You have a chance to really screw them over. We're playing 1 Perish in the sideboard. This is something I'd like to see maybe a second one of. It's really, really good. Things like Deathrite Shaman, Tarmogoyf, Knight of the Reliquary, Elves in general. There's a lot of very big, powerful green creatures that Goblins just can't get through. You have to go around them, and sometimes there's just enough removal where you don't get that opportunity. So by being able to wipe there, it's a one-sided board wipe, and it takes away a lot of prevalent cards from your opponent. I'm really liking this card. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but whenever I do get to bring it in, I think it's going to be powerful if I hit it. A Wear Tear. We kept this one. I think this was in the version 1. Maybe it wasn't. We brought this in just as a clean answer to... No, this definitely came in for version 2. Brought this in as a clean answer to some artifacts and enchantments. We can cast both sides of it. It becomes really good. We're maintaining the 1 Tuk Tuk Scrapper on the sideboard. He's from the original, and he's been... some of the games that I haven't recorded, he's come up and been very powerful. We were playing an Earwig Squad on the sideboard, and this is one we're debating on playing in the main. The downside is you have to prowl him. You can't just cheat him in with Goblin Lackey and get his ability. And we do only have 5 sources of black, so it becomes a little bit more challenging because we are splashing the white, and I think that's necessary. But a 1 of in the sideboard might not be bad. He might end up going away for perhaps like another Perish or a second Blood Moon, or maybe another Warping Wheel. It depends. I'm going to test this out a little bit more and see what's going on with it. And then we kept the 2 Pyrokinesis to kind of just take away the wide boards that are placed in front of us. You can easily 3 for 1 somebody, or even 4 for, well, I guess 3 for 2 or 4 for 2 somebody with this. It's been pretty good. So that is the deck tech. The sideboard, again, is the only thing that changed. We just switched up some quantities and took away some graveyard hate for more uncounterable turn 0 interaction that gets through like a Chancellor of the Annex or whatever else. So we just, because turn 1 Gristlebrand is very hard to deal with. You have to have the Caracas to really handle that. So that's pretty much it.